Every now and again, you run into something in a video game that just doesn't really add up. And I'm not talking about bugs or glitches or any of that nonsense, but the truly weird that just doesn't really make any sense. So today we're going to be counting down 11 things in SCP Secret Lab that just don't really make any sense. First off, and stick with me here, is what is up with 106's recontainment chamber? Seriously, it just doesn't make any sense. In SCP Containment Breach, the single player game that this game was based off of, 106 would stop whatever he was doing, wherever he was doing it, if he went to his observation room and pressed a button that fractured this captive dude's femur, which would then make 106 crawl out of the floor to this guy, his voice being played over the facility PA system, to take him to his pocket dimension between worlds, and you would then flip another switch to raise the cell into the air with electromagnets so he couldn't melt through the walls again and escape, which is a crazy sentence if this is your first video about SCPs, by the way. But trust me, that makes sense. What doesn't make sense, however, is that SCP Secret Lab's femur breaker is this little box here, which isn't inside 106's containment cell, which is here. So you send a player into the forever box, press an evil villain red button, and hear the screams of a Mr. Beast contestant winner play throughout the facility. And whoever is playing as 106 at that moment instantly loses, and the idea is that 106 should appear in front of this box where you broke this dude's femur. But instead, obviously, he teleports into his containment cell to be recontained, which is already floating off the ground anyway. I don't get it. Is there a trap door beneath this thing that the dude then slides down and shoots across this big gap into the box? I don't know, it's just weird. Even weirder than the sponsor of today's video, Raid Shadow Legends, baby. That's right. I know I'm not joking. Ya boy actually got that sponsorship. Kings, we made it. And I know what you're thinking. The Raid Shadow Legends, the game with over 600 unique champions, all from their own epic and cool factions to choose from? Yeah. The one and the same. But let's get serious here. I want to talk to you for a minute about the High Elves, baby. They're not like what I expected. I mean, I guess they are, because they're mega arrogant. They say they helped the humans form civilization, but both races came into existence at the same time. Weird. Also, they say they helped the world pick up after the Lizard Men Empire fell, but actually, they kind of just watched it happen. And at the end, they rub in how inclusive they are, as long as whoever joins them is willing to toe the party line. What? Which makes a certain amount of sense, come to think of it, because they had their schism with the Dark Elves that drew around the country in a civil war. And that was mostly on differences of opinion. And it's worth mentioning that the Scarlet Order, don't get me started on them, they're zealots, man. The Dark Elves are psychopathic murder monkeys. The Knights Revenant are also the most evil pyramid scheme. Okay, fair's fair. The High Elves are maybe the best of a bad bunch, but they're super snooty about it. Who wrote this script? And look at Vargas. Look at this dude. He's my favorite. Look at this little scoundrel. What's he up to? And this month is huge for Raid, okay? They just released a brand new faction, the Sylvan Watchers, baby, finally. And with some amazing new champions, forest elves, ents, druids, fays, all the woodland creatures, they're all here. And I can't wait to summon them all to play with. And if that's not enough, baby, Raid's got a full lineup of events, along with the new season of the Forge Pass, where you can get your hands on some of the most powerful gear the game has ever seen. Yes, that's what we want, baby. And if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get your exclusive reward in Raid right now. show a picture from this folder here. Do not read this part of the script. Wait a minute. And this is the best time to get started in Raid. And if you click in the link in the description below or scan this QR code, you hold the phone up to your screen like this and the camera, you tap it, downloads the game, you get unique bonuses, $30. We're talking free epic champion, Rekthor Drath, 200,000 silver, a whole energy refill, a whole XP boost, a whole ancient shard, baby, so you could summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game. All this treasure will be waiting for you. Scan the code like a dingus or click the link in the description, and I'm pretty sure I have a pinned comment in this video. I don't know. Figure it out. Download it, okay? This is your assignment. Do it. Do it. Boom, ad read over. Now back to the boring stuff, the boring part of the video. Where do people even eat in this facility? Seriously, you can walk anywhere inside and out of this map, and there isn't a single bench, stall, pew, trestle table, or buffet anywhere to be seen. This place has bathrooms, which we'll get back to later, an entire security room, and even giant doors of unknown purpose, but no one thought to throw down a few park benches somewhere to spice the place up a bit and let the facility staff take a load off every now and then. Yeah, there's these benches in entrance zone where you can go and stare at a wall. I guess that's cool. Is there strictly a brown bag policy where you've got to bring your own lunches and eat at your desk or something? I mean, Jesus, no wonder the containment breach happened. Everyone has been overworked. This place is an OSHA violation waiting to happen. Oh yeah, and about entrance zone, it doesn't even make any sense. Sometimes you'll open a door and just find a hallway caved in by a bunch of rocks, and there'll be like a road caution sign stuck in the middle of them comically. Like, did the Foundation staff need a sign not to climb on the giant rocks? I mean, this must have happened before the containment breach, right? Who had time to stick those signs into and around the rocks when everything was going belly up? You know what I mean? And like, what's beyond those hallways? Is it the rest of the facility or something? Well, no, apparently not, because 079 doesn't have access to anything beyond those hallways. I mean, it's got access to every other part of the facility, and with cameras and Tesla control and power control, there's nothing to suggest anything is past these hallways or even past the courtyard of the Foundation itself. And then this implies something even worse, because that means in this entire facility, there's only one bathroom, and it is located in the deepest part of the facility. If you work on the surface looking after the nuke controls and these weird 1960 tape reels, you have to go outside, which sucks if it's raining because there's no roof or awning, walk upstairs, wait for an elevator, make your way through entrance, get clearance into heavy containment where all of the most dangerous SCPs are kept, make your way through to another set of elevators, get through another clearance checkpoint, get lost finding the water closet because it feels like this place is a maze sometimes, and then finally get there only to have pissed yourself 30 minutes ago when you walked past a sentient ball of yarn that kept calling you Eric and making your ears bleed. Okay, that's not in this game, but what's even worse is that there are only 2 toilets on each side. No urinals for the boys. This stall doesn't even have a door. It's not missing. It just doesn't even have one, and not a single roll of toilet paper anywhere in the facility. And don't even get me started, there are no mirrors. None. You just stare at a blank wall like you're trying not to remember the atrocities you've helped commit in the last week alone. But hey, you know what's really weird? Why even have a women's part of the bathroom when there aren't even any women in the game? Seriously, they don't exist. You can't play as a woman, there are no female scientist bodies anywhere in the facility, and the only mention of a woman in the entire game is in this one trailer they have for the upcoming SCP-939 release, where she's working for the bad guys, presumably. Absolutely based, but it's still wild when you think about it. And don't even tell me in the comments, Wyatt, technically SCP-939 is a woman. Look, I don't know if you're from Ohio, but this is not what women look like in the rest of the world. Stop pushing unrealistic beauty standards on our women, and also they obviously didn't make the bathroom for this thing. But you want to know what there is a lot of in this facility? Weapon management stations. What? In case you don't know, these are for facility guards to take apart their weapons and add attachments to them, or overall change them up. So why, dear God, why do we need one in this office space in Entrance? I would understand why the security checkpoints maybe have them, but they don't. But you know what does? This one random hallway in heavy containment, and this broom closet in the nuke room. Why are you bringing firearms to take apart and reconfigure in a room directly attached to a nuclear warhead? And why are we letting our facility trained staff customize their own guns to however they like them, and even letting them change the color of their scopes for funsies? This is not Call of Duty. Oh yeah, and on the topic of heavy containment, why is it right next to the entrance zone? Why are all of the literal worst things imaginable literally contained a few feet away from the office workers? Why don't you put the medicine that cures all wounds, or the bowl of candy that makes your arms fall off if you take more than 2 pieces next to them instead? Is it because you're afraid they'll eat all the candy? Because they don't get to eat? Because that would make sense. But on that subject, where is everyone? Aside from the one facility guard body we see in 096's room, which I could talk about for an hour, by the way, and a few bodies in the breached containment shelter in Entrance Zone, there's really nobody else in the facility. In a standard game with completely default server settings, a match of Secret Lab has, at most, 25 players in it. There are 4 SCPs that normally spawn, which means there are a total of 21 facility personnel still alive during the containment breach, which I guess explains why there's no need for a dedicated lunchroom, maybe. But is this the reason there was a containment breach in the first place? I mean, was it a day off? Maybe everyone else got taken into 106's pocket dimension, or shot across into his containment chamber. Did everybody go to the Chaos Insurgency facility that's apparently just down the road for a block party, or in the lunchroom that exists only beyond the caved-in rubble and entrance zone? Which explains not only why there are so few people left in the facility, but that they are the most inept group of humans to have ever lived that can't even follow a single order I give them. Alright, look. There's a lot going on in this game, and I apologize for raising my voice. Sometimes you want to get to the bottom of a mystery and you only find more and more questions. And honestly, you can't hate someone until you loved them first. And that goes for video games too. Anyway, let me know what little thing you found in Secret Lab or some other game that just doesn't make any sense when you think about it. And I know these are all little minor things to nitpick in the game, and people always tell me not to worry about the little things in life, but I often find worrying about the little things is a great way to get your mind off of the bigger things. Thanks for watching.